Hi, I'm Jessie from Practically Functional, and today I am going to show you how to make these cute little wooden firecrackers. So it's really easy. We're just going to take a piece of wood like this and give it a coat of paint, a little curly Q fuse, and then it's going to look great. Here's what you need. You need 3 little 2x2, blocks of wood, varying heights. You need a couple things of paint, just little craft paint. You need some glue and some wire to make the fuse. Something stiff, not too bendy, because you want to, put it in a curly Q shape and have it stay. You need a couple little paintbrushes. I just use these foam guys. Some ribbon if you want to decorate it at the end. Sandpaper to give it kind of a vintage look once you paint it, if you want to scrape some of it off. Sandpaper. And a drill so that you can drill into the top of the pieces of wood and set up the little fuse. And that's all you need to get started. So the type of wood that you use doesn't matter. These are 2x2s. Actually, they're a 2x4 that I cut in half. And I've already taken some sandpaper just to the corners to make sure there's no splinters. But it doesn't need to be pretty. It doesn't need to be smooth. You're kind of going for a vintage look anyways. So the first thing you do to start is grab your paint. Squirt a little bit out, and what you're going to do is just start painting. So you see how this kind of has some streaks in it. If you're going for a vintage kind of look where the wood shows through, that's great. Just leave it with the streaks in it and it's totally fine. If you want a really solid look, you can either make sure you do a really thick coat of paint the first time around, or just come back after it's dried and put a second coat on there. And that way you won't have any gaps in your coverage. And once you have all 3 of them painted, just set them aside to dry, and then we'll add the wire next. So once your paint is dry, the next thing you need to do is drill a hole right in the top so that you can put the little wire in to make the fuse. So take your drill, and you want to make sure that you have a drill bit that's slightly smaller than the diameter of the wire that you're going to use, and make a hole. Then the next thing you need is your wire and some wire cutters. So you want to take, 3-4 inches and just cut it. And then if you want a little curly Q, rotated, wrapped around guy, just wrap it around the tip of your tool there, and then you have a little, curly Q guy. And then take your block of wood and push it in, mostly just to test the fit and the shape and the positioning. If it doesn't fit like this, then you're gonna have to re-drill that hole a little bit bigger so that it has room. All right, try again. If your wire is bendable just with your hands, you can just sort of futz with it till you're happy with what it looks like just using your hands. And then once you're happy with what it looks like, we're going to actually glue it in place using a fast drying glue like this one. So take the wire out, put a little bit of glue in the hole itself. It's not going to go very far in depending on how small your hole is, but don't worry about that too much. And then you want to put a little bit of glue on the end of your wire here. So just coat that straight end in a little bit of glue. Set your glue aside, and then just put the two pieces back together. Remember to push it in nice and firm so it goes all the way down. Okay, and then, because this glue is fast drying, cap it up real quick so that it doesn't dry out. And then you want to wipe off all of the any extra that kind of squirted out of the hole there. You just take a napkin or something and wipe it out. And then just set this aside to dry, and you're pretty much done. Once the glue on the fuse part is dry, you want to take about 2 feet of, Patriotic ribbon, whatever you have lying around, lay it out on your work surface in front of you, and then grab all 3 of these guys, and you're gonna sort of lay them down here however makes the most sense, and make sure the bottoms are lined up so that they can stand up together when you're done here. So, sort of lay them down, scoot them around, and then all that's left to do is tie the ribbon onto them. I actually have another video on this channel that tells you exactly how to tie a bow in a burlap ribbon to make a nice big fluffy bow. So if you want a bow that has a couple of different more than 2 loops or some extra fluffy bits, you can check that out. It's popping up here in the right hand corner. And you're done. Cute little firecracker. Took about 15 minutes, except for, the paint drying time. And this is super adorable. Now, if you decide that you want the vintage look, take a piece of sandpaper, and before you tie this bow around this, just lightly go over all of the edges and rough them up just a little bit so that you can start to see the wood showing through. And that'll give you kind of a faded, old, weathered look. And you're done. For more fun 4th of July ideas and super simple crafts, check out practicallyfunctional.com. And don't forget to subscribe to this channel so that you never miss a new tutorial. Thanks for watching. I'll see you next time.